So by this point, you've seen the podcast On the Way. The purpose is we're helping people tell their stories and we're getting their lessons as they go along the way. Now, we're out in the field, going along the way with those same people, telling their stories as they're working and doing their jobs. So let's go. Today, we're hanging out with the Long Island mold guy here in Setauket. We're gonna have a disgusting basement. We're gonna have Dom's story. We're gonna spend an entire day here just learning about why we're doing this and how they go about doing this here. This is Along the Way with the Long Island mold guy, Dom Menieri. So, I'm here with Dom. Thanks for having us here today, man. Very excited to get out here. Tell us a little bit about this job and what we have going on today.
All right, I was actually here a few days ago. The customer asked me over to look down in the basement where we found that the bar area happened to take on some water. We're not sure what caused it, but there's plenty of mold around the bar area on the cabinets, and the walls neighboring it are all wet. And he hired me. I'm grateful for the work. And we're gonna go inside and get started and get set up and get this thing going.
Yeah, so talk to us about what does the day look like as we get set up and get going?
You missed the first part, which would be the paperwork signing. So we have to go in, ask the customer if they have any concerns, any questions, get the paperwork signed, and collect the first half of the payment. And before we even do anything downstairs, we're going to protect all the flooring in the common areas. So this way, when we're coming and going, we're not making a mess on the first floor. And then we're going to go down and do a little of the same. We're going to organize some contents, get those covered, set up protective plastic around the work areas, and then get started. We have some plumbing to disconnect, some stone countertops that have to come off, some tile backsplash, and then of course those moldy cabinets, and then we'll see what we find behind there.
We got a lot of work ahead of us. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
We'll put the first drop cloth over here as we're walking in the door, so we don't walk in too far.
Do you leave it in the doorway or do you go all the way in?
No, this is cool right there. Yeah, look at this guy. I didn't even have to ask him to go get the other one. Yeah. You see that?
You said you needed two.
He's moving along good already. All right, we should be good there. We'll let James, we'll all grab something, go downstairs, and then let James put his paper down.
Cool.
This way we're not going down empty-handed. He's gonna get the open roll of plastic, and we'll go down with that. And Steve's grabbing the scrubber.
Scrubbing air.
Jay's gonna grab a scrubber. And we'll run on down, or whatever you want to bring down. Toolbox, scrubber.
Just the stuff that's on the wood itself is mold?
Yep, you see some right here. Like, see these white dots?
Yeah.
And then inside there, there's a bunch more on that one rail.
So how can you identify that as mold? Because
Well,
I'm looking at that and I go, oh, that's dusty.
I'm just giving you my professional opinion, but ultimately, if you really want to know, you could swab it and send it to a lab. You know, you're not supposed to say it's mold.
I'd probably look at that and go, like, I just have a dusty basement.
Yeah, it does look like dust, so then you wouldn't probably call.
Well, what are the things that people should be looking out for?
Any odd discoloration, such as that. You know,
okay.
I know it does look like dust, but look around. If you don't see it somewhere else, but just around this one general area.
That's true. It's not really dusty in here. It's nice and clean.
Right, and usually dust, you'll see it covers everything, and even haze dust is good like that. And then when you wipe it away.
Should people be checking these little crevices and corners more often?
I think so. And anyone should be aware of their home, what's going on in it. You know, I know day-to-day life keeps us away from stuff like that, and who really wants to spend time looking at the bottom corner of the wine cellar or in my boiler room? But it really makes sense to be one with your home. You should know what that sound is. You should go and look in these areas every once in a while. Don't be afraid to walk around, even if you don't know these things, but just look around. Oh, you might find a pipe dripping. You know, you never know what you're going to find if you're aware of your house. See the effect right here? See how the plastic's being pulled towards that side of the house instead of coming down here? Because they probably have their air conditioner on right now. So it's pulling that way. So once we start doing any demo, we're gonna have to ask him to shut that off. Take all the job pictures using this app, Company Cam. I guess I should see if I could be an affiliate since I'm talking about them now. But this allows me to keep all the job photos organized. So now I could take all job pictures from start to finish, front of the house, before pictures, during pictures, after pictures. This way everything's documented. A link can be given to the customer once the job is done, so they have all the photos as well. And again, you don't have to go looking through your phone for all these pictures. Everything's there based on the address and or the customer last name.
So you're just documenting for liability and...
Yeah, liability purposes, general purposes, and know what we're doing, especially the customer's not down here watching us.
Yeah.
Hey, did you wipe that surface? Yeah, sure did. There's a picture of me wiping it. Did you cover this? Yep, there's a picture of James covering it. You know, I try not to work in homes where I'm gonna have any issues. I feel I'm good at anticipating drama and issues, and we try to work for people who are serious about removing and getting rid of the mold in their home. So typically, like I said, they're off doing something else while we're working, and now we can show them exactly what we did. So aside from the daily walkthroughs, now they can have all the pictures too. We'll get started right here. And we're gonna pop the, get that baseboard heater loose and get this trim off and get this door trim off and the closet trim. And we'll start working on doing these walls.
So talk to me about these HEPA vacs. What are they?
These are HEPA air filtration machines. So they have a pre-filter stage that captures all the debris and particulate that's in the air during the course of demo. Then on the inside is a main HEPA filter. That's where all the magic happens. It's doing even more collection of the fine particulate. This happens to be a Dry Ease Defendair 500, which means it's 500 CFMs. And the other units I'll be setting up are Dry Ease HEPA 750s, which I have 700 CFM, 750 CFMs.
So what are CFMs?
Circumferences per minute. You want enough equipment to turn the air over in the space at least 4 times per hour.
Okay.
And with these 3 machines and measuring the cubic feet of the areas, told me that I need 3 of these machines set up. So I have one in the bedroom. We got that one over here, and I'm going to toss this one back here in the corner.
And the goal here is circulate the air, get fresh air down here, and take any of the mold and particulate that's in the air out of the air?
That's correct.
Cool. Is this a flathead?
Yeah.
No. It's a big ass
I got
flathead.
a simple task for you.
Give me a simple task.
On that wall, there's an outlet cover we have to take off.
That I can
There's 2 screws.
I think I need a smaller one.
You can do it. Come on. I'll get you a smaller one.
Making me look bad, giving me this giant screwdriver.
No, that one's
It's a little flatter.
Yeah, that's
flatter.
one.
That'll get
That's
in
one
there.
down.
Yeah. It's not really much smaller.
Is it working better though?
I just gotta put pressure. It's good. I didn't know I was gonna be put to work like this. Save the screws. There we go. That one was better. Redeemed myself.
You broke it. Get the left side.
Just with your hand?
If you reach under, that lit thing should pop off. Yep. And then lift up. Excellent.
Nice and easy.
And then we'll take that cover off, because we got to get to the screws. I guess you could put that over there against the long wall on the left.
Mold wall. What type of mold do you think we're dealing with here?
I'd have to look at the report, but being that we have moisture present, it's more than likely some Stachybotrys or some Aspergillus penicillium, which is usually always present. and maybe some chattatonium, but I can look at the label.
What are the, I guess, health ramifications if that goes untreated in a home like this? Someone's living in the home. What can go wrong with that?
Depending on the person, they can get all types of things, some headaches, dizziness, eczema, long-term breathing, allergen, breathing issues and stuff of that nature.
All right.
I mean, I've heard brain fog, stuff, forgetting things and stuff like that. People have reported multiple symptoms for being exposed to mold.
All right. So if you're watching this, just wanted to thank you, ask you to please subscribe, follow us here, follow the Long Island Mold Guy, support this business and support us. If you want to get involved, or if you think there's someone who you think would be great to be on the show, reach out to us at MMP Creations on Instagram, or you can check out our website and just set up an appointment. So yeah, definitely appreciate you guys checking this out. We plan on doing a ton more of these. Got a bunch more lined up, so really looking forward to telling more stories and getting out in the field and going along the way with people. So forget about the ceiling and just focus on the beautiful, very real grapevines behind us. I was asking you, what's something that a homeowner should know about mold that maybe most don't?
That it takes water to have it.
Okay.
So you always need that number one ingredient, which is water, moisture. It could be anything from a flood to humidity. But you cannot have mold growth without water. So if a person, I think I have a mold issue. Well, why? I asked them their history. Did you have a water damage in your home? And they were like, no. There's no signs of visible mold, no signs of moisture. You may not have a mold problem if you never had a moisture problem, but let's investigate it further. So that's one thing I always say. You need to have that source in order to even have mold.
So now someone like this, they see mold in their basement. What's their first step? Is the first step to reach out to you, or is there a step before that?
I find a professional. So to do that, a first step may be to reach out to a family member, a friend, a coworker, or a neighbor, and see if they've ever had this experience before, and if they've used someone that they feel did a good job, and maybe get a referral. Because again, there's so many companies out there involved in this, general restoration contractors, regular contractors that may try to sell you something that you may not need or may not provide you with a thorough enough assessment of what's going on. So I think that would probably be the first step. If you're unsure of where to turn, do some research.
So something like this, just get destroyed, what do you do with this piece of wood like this that's all covered?
That's going to get thrown away.
Okay, so you just take it out, throw it out. Is there any specific way that you dispose of it?
No, I'll just carry it out there. There are no regulations in New York for disposing mold. It can be thrown away with the regular garbage.
I watched the Netflix, there was like a documentary of some guy. It was all about, I think it was called Fantastic Fungi.
Yeah, that's Paul Stamets, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Fascinating stuff. It's so cool that like literally underneath everything is fungus, and there's constant just like spores.
It does play a role outside, and it'll play that same role in the house.
It's like it's a huge part of life in general.
Absolutely.
That I didn't even realize existed until I watched it.
And then a lot of it eats away all the stuff we don't need. And
rotting, bugs and animals, things like that. They'll just go away.
Another part of nature. Just like you don't want in the house because you don't want nature in your house.
Shoes come off or no?
You should be able to slide them on. You gotta.
Yeah, work it.
Yep. Yeah,
we'll
you know how to work it.
We'll work it. Suiting up.
I heard you know how to work it good.
You're used to taking care of sick people, but you had quite a scare a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Tell us a little bit about.
It's actually been quite a few years now. I believe this coming October will be 6 years that I'm free of colon cancer, or at least first diagnosed almost 6 years ago.
Wow.
My wife rushed me to the hospital one night. I was feeling a pain in my side, so I was like, that's gotta be my appendix, man. So I rushed down to the hospital. Sure enough, they diagnosed it quickly, said it's your appendix, gotta come out now, and it must have been real time because I know I was waiting and I was in the back in the waiting area throwing up. I was like, we got to get me in here. They took my appendix out. You know, you do the routine follow-up at the doctor, check the stitches. They did like a laparoscopic surgery, I think it's called, for the appendix. So he's like, all right, we got your appendix out, but there was a rare cancer in your appendix. And I was like, damn, man. And he's like, but at least we got rid of it. It's gone now. But you also have colon cancer. I'm like, damn. You know, I was like, shit, I didn't expect to hear that. I'm thinking I'm coming to hear about my stitches and how quickly I'm going to heal here, you know. So he said as soon as that heals, now we have to do surgery to remove part of your colon. And then we did that. And that was a tough time for me because, right, I was laid up with the appendix thing, and now I'm going to be laid up with this cancer thing. And at that particular point in my business world, I really didn't have all the pieces in place. I didn't have a guy running things for me. It was just me and the people I had working for me. So I actually had to shut down shop for a little while and get through that. And you know, that made me a little stronger getting that, because those were some anxious times with no money coming in, and you know, trying to survive on basically what I've made and saved up to that point. So that was definitely scary. So I'm fighting cancer and basically fighting a financial situation as well, you know, because there was no work happening. And then, you know, once I healed, I got back out there, but that was a 5-year plan. So I had to go to the doctor every year, 1, 2, 3, 4, probably about 4 to 8 times a year. They get blood work checked and just basically monitor my cancer to make sure it was gone. And during that time, they also felt I should do chemotherapy. And I didn't want to do that either, because I see people get sick from chemotherapy. That's like, could give you cancer too. If you can fight past that chemo, you know, then you're a fighter too. Because that chemo will cause nerve damage, it can cause cancer. And I actually lost my mother to lung cancer many years ago, and I watched her body and her life basically deteriorate from that chemotherapy and that cancer. And I said, you know what, I'm going to try a different way. And being a big meat eater, I decided to give up eating all meat. I don't know if that's what caused my colon cancer, no proof at all. So you meat eaters out there, I don't want to scare anyone. I have no proof at all. But I said, I'm going to change what I eat. Maybe that'll help me. I don't want to do chemo. Followed what's called Gerson therapy loosely, which is heavy juicing. So I spent like the first 6 months, or maybe even a little longer, just juicing every day. Pounds and pounds of fresh fruits and vegetables, to get as many nutrients and vitamins and minerals as I could into my body, to fight what was ever left in there. So that's what their theory on the chemo. They don't see no tumor anymore. Let's just do it anyway. Maybe it'll kill off anything, if anything's even in there. And I was like, well, you're not going to see any difference. Let's just do this. If something comes back, then we'll talk about chemo later. Doctors, you know, they kept pushing it on me. And I decided not to, and eventually they used the words, you're cancer-free, and here I stand today telling you the story.
Yeah, so I made my glove joke to Michael, but you had a very serious message to go along with that, which is don't wait, get checked out.
Yeah, I'd rather play it loosely than try to get over serious about it.
Well,
it's a serious situation.
But it's real, you know, we're joking around, we're having a good time. I made my glove joke, told Michael to bend over, but, you know, the reality is, you should get checked out.
Right.
What should people do? Where can they find resources? Do you know anything about that?
I don't know any doctor recommendations, but what I do know from hearsay, that a lot more younger people are getting colon cancer, bowel cancer, stomach cancer. I don't know what from. Could be the preservatives in our food, microplastics, I don't know. But if we're hearing that younger folks are getting it, then let's get checked sooner. Don't wait till you're 48 or 50 years old, right? If you go in there 48, 50 years old, you could have it already. I know there's some non-invasive ways, like the Cologuard thing. I never tried it, but they say you can find out that way. And of course, the old colonoscopy, but again, there's probably drawbacks to that from what I hear. You don't want to rip your colon lining, send in this machine or a camera inside your body. They have infrared scans. So there's a lot of different ways to check, but I say sooner than later.
Come on, let's go.
Steve, you know how to work a drill?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so now we're loose there.
Just have the line through it.
Yeah, that's okay. What we're gonna do now, we'll give that back to Jay, because I'm sure he needs it. In the industry, when you cut it 2 feet, that's known as the flood cut. Oh, you could snap it, have the honors. All right.
Now, why are we making this cut?
Because this wall is wet, and we know there's visible mold here at this cabinet, and we always like to go past what we see visible at least a couple of feet to make sure there's no further mold growth there. So I figure we'll come this way. I found a little wet and a little mold next to that cabinet. Make sure we're not leaving any mold here. And then same things on that wall. We opened up because the bottom of that wall was wet, and we find moisture even though there was no visible mold there. We found it wet, so I want to make sure we're not leaving any mold behind there. That's why we opened that wall over there.
You're right, it feels wet.
Plus it's just so humid down here, and everything kind of feels a little soft and moist. Do you feel yourself cutting all the way through? Push hard.
Now I do.
Yep. You
On
want to
that
make
third
sure
one.
the rest of it's all the way through too.
This is the tough part. The end.
Yeah, because you might have to switch your body and go from the left.
This is why you're the pro.
And then once we get it cut through, I'll show you how we take it off of there. I'll get this wall started for you.
Yeah, I'll start ripping.
See if anything comes off.
And let's see. You go all the way to the floor?
Yep. Now if you grab, like instead of pulling hard, try to like loosen it there, loosen it there, loosen it there, and keep going back and forth a little bit until you get it all loose. You might be able to get that whole piece out. All right, so now we lift up while we finagle. See what happens?
Yeah, it's split at the bottom.
Yeah, it gets stuck in the tile, behind the tile.
Got most of it.
Yep. I'll switch spots with you. Get this last piece out of here. So now, like I said, behind here, being that this framing goes below the tile, now you get these little frickin' pieces of sheetrock stuck in here. So you gotta come in here and play games to get those little pieces and all that scrap out of this little canal back here, or this cavity. Such a gap. And you find yourself picking out some of this crap out of here before you vacuum, because if you bring the vacuum over here and start trying to clean this up without doing this little picking first, then the vacuum ends up filling up too fast. I said you can get a whole wall down in just a couple of minutes and then end up spending a bunch of time playing with those pieces.
I'm playing with my pieces. Take all these.
Yep. All right, so we took down our first wall here. Oh, you missed some screws here, buddy.
my
You
bad.
fired.
I'm out.
Yeah? Jeez, come on, Mike.
If we saw a piece that had mold on it,
Yep.
does that mean you're gonna go up more from there, or what?
Where we saw that mold was about right here,
Okay,
mid-wall, and we didn't see any attached to this cut.
so that's good.
So above here is clean.
All right. Our work here is you know, you have like another day or so of work on this. You said this is Friday.
Right. This just taking out these cabinets will probably take the rest of the day.
So you're gonna take out these cabinets. Our time here is running out, but what does the rest of this look like? Walk us through that process.
All right. As you can see here, we've got this whole bar. We didn't account to have to take this all down, but unfortunately, this is sitting on top of everything, and we have no choice but to dismantle all of this woodwork, the wood countertop, so that we can get that moldy plywood piece out of there with the stone on it. Once that's all gone, then we're going to take this counter off. These cabinets are going to come off, and we're going to continue that sheetrock removal wall all the way down to the other end here. And that would be the rest of the demo here. Again, I have to check that wall. We might do some demo in that room. Aside from that, this and that would be the demo. And then we're going to clean this whole place down, top to bottom, with HEPA vacuuming, damp wiping, and get every little piece of particulate and dust out of here, so that when they do finally come for a post-remediation verification, the air is clean, the surfaces are clean, and there's no more visible mold.
And then beyond that, so they come in to inspect. This is all still opened up.
Correct.
Beyond that, that's all homeowner is responsible for that?
Yes, once we pass that post-remediation verification, at that point the customer can put things back together.
Cool.
The one thing here though still is we don't know how this happened. There could be even a foundation issue here. I see some of the wood. Right, we see, look at Steve. You see this? Steve's a mold inspector.
Yeah.
He found a crack in the wall, a big crack, and it's discolored.
Yeah,
So definitely water's probably been seeping through that crack right there for some time. And I said, since that cabinet end was one of the worst ones,
probably
I
some
wouldn't
more
be
back
surprised if we may find something like that down over there too. So thanks for pointing that out, Steve.
I had a foundation crack in my house a few years ago that we had to patch
Steve the
up.
mold inspector.
Steve the mold inspector.
And the crack inspector.
So yeah, Dom, thank you for having us out here. I hope that this shows the world a good example of the kind of work that you guys and your crew are doing. And I mean, we've been showing it the whole time, but how can people get in touch with you?
The best way is to call me, 631-606-MOLD.
Right there.
And I'm active on all social media platforms, especially Instagram and Facebook. And I have a lot of informative videos on YouTube as well.
You got any last-ditch information for anyone watching? What should they know about you?
What should they know about me? I'm a great guy who loves to take care of people's mold problems.